guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Seems a bit hard time for me to get online. Technical difficulty. But anyway, let's hope we can somehow record this and finish it up. I'm currently in near Venice. It's very hot here, so I'm almost afraid to go outside. So I thought since I'm indoor, while my family are mostly outdoor, I thought I'd try to make the most of it. So, hi. So anyway, before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to talk about a topic kind of linger on in my mind for a while, but let's see if I can explain it to you guys, and hoping you guys can understand or look at things in different perspective. So what I want to talk about is the more you know, the less you feel. And the reason of that is, I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones. I'm a big fan of it. It's a brutal show, but I'm a big fan of it. If you guys do follow the show, you will understand right now we're at season 7, and then there's this Bran. You know how Bran come back from beyond the wall, and then he become kind of senseless. Do you know what I mean? Like most of people thinking, well, now you are a 3-eyed raven. You should know more, understand more, and how come it seems like you are no longer Bran, like the person who feel a lot, sense a lot. At least, even though you know more, you should still have some empathy intact and understand and feel for people. And I understand in some point, in some degree, probably not as much as that, but I understand in some degree, is when my husband have a question of that, I say the more you know, the less you feel. You may not understand what I meant, but let me try to explain it from my perspective and see if that would make all sense to you. When I start, knowing I have sensation, the things I do is I start seeing past. I start seeing past lives or the future, like the things people do not see. Very often when people come and ask me for consultation, I want to understand why things are happening the way it is, or why such a tragedy happened to them. It's very often for me to trace back and understand what caused it. It may be current life, they have some unfinished business they need to finish, but very often it was related to some previous business, like previous life that they did not finish. For example, I'm gonna give you a very brutal example, not my best example of all. Let's say in this life, you may have a victim that's being killed, right? Like being killed, murdered, or whatever reason it is, and or brutally abused or something, and then the parents or the relative will come ask me why this has happened to them. Very often people want to know why this is happening to them. For me to trace back to understand the relationship between the victim and the murderer, I very often find they were simply doing a role play. That means this life they were victim, last life or past life they are the one who is abused. They are the murderer, or they are the one who is abusive. So at that point I have to say I did not know what to think. You know what I mean? I did not know what to think. I understand. Does that mean I accept it, or does that mean, oh, now I understand? Yes, I do understand, but it's hard for me to know which one I feel. If you feel this victim is sad, you feel for them, sad, poor them, or they are not serving justice or unjustified, whatever feeling, emotion like going through your head. Now, if you see the vision I see, you will also feel the same as a person or the victim or the murderer or something as in previous life. Does that make sense? Because they may not have people giving that kind of empathy. You know what I'm trying to say? So what I'm saying is, very often in my situation, because I see beyond what I need to see, or I see the cause of it, reason of it, or beyond life, I don't know what to feel anymore. You know what I mean? The moment in this moment I feel bad for you, I felt bad for them in the previous life. And somehow that feeling become neutralized. Of course, at the beginning, I gone through a lot of emotion up and down. Oh my God, I don't know what to feel. But as you see this situation or this kind of scenario play itself over and over and over again, you get to a point you actually don't know how to feel anymore. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's why when I was watching Game of Thrones, I kind of understand why when people know so much, especially in this character brand, is supposed to be able to travel past and the future, kind of like what I did. If you start to understand why things happen the way it is, you then understand as a soul, your position is not to judge you are right or wrong, good or bad, but to be neutral. Only when you are neutral, you then able to seek the answer. If you are not neutral, you then become biased. We all know if you become biased, there's no way you can make the right judgment, right? So only when you are neutral, you then able to seek for truth, if you're the person who is interested in seeking for truth. So the reason I want to share about this is, this for me is very hard lesson of learning empathy. A lot of people, empathy, understand, is part of the lesson almost every soul had to experience, every soul had to learn, right? After you've gone through all various lessons we learned already, we have to learn empathy. Only know empathy, then we know how person feel and how we position ourselves. You know what? It's that two-way thing. So for me, this whole experience of knowing make it very hard to feel, because it's hard to feel. Believe it or not, this is a whole process of lesson of empathy. Through this, you're supposed to learn empathy. It's also, I learned empathy is not to feel bad for the poor, but also feel for the strong, whatever you say it is. Empathy is able to feel the situation. Feel the situation means I no longer biased. I'm not biased of any one of you, but I understand. I feel for you, but I also feel for you. When you really, truly master empathy, you are not biased. You simply feel. So in order to achieve that, you have to feel both sides. And then you all understand it's very hard lesson. But I do have to say it's for every single one of us to pick it up. So anyway, the reason I want to share this with you is a lot of time in our position, we were saying, oh, you need to feel more. You need to feel for me. You need to feel this. It's not so. I'm very often say empathy is a very, very basic lesson we so have to experience. For me to have to able to experience both sides, I mean good guy and bad guy, understand their feeling, understand why they come to the way they are, and understand everything, and then feel for them. Understand why they're making decisions they made, whether in your judgment, personal judgment, good or bad, right or wrong. You understand them. You feel for them. So that I do find is really hard lessons why I try to understand empathy or really learning empathy. So anyway, the reason I want to do this short broadcast with you is empathy. Let me ramp it up in case I'm wandering around and then you guys don't know what my point is. My point is, I did say empathy is a very basic lesson for all souls to learn. But do understand, empathy is not bias. Empathy is not for you to choose side and feel. I feel for you because poor you. I feel for you because you are victim. I feel for you because the society neglect you, or things like that. Empathy is a skill or ability which we should be born with, because based on how intuitive every soul should have, is able to feel for others, whether we agree with them or we do not agree with them. You know what I mean? So a lot of time, in order to feel, you have to understand. In order to understand, you have to ask, or you have to wonder. You have to have ability to wonder. Not like right away set a judgment. You are bad guy, you are wrong, therefore I'm not interested to know you. From my past experience, which I did do a lot of consultation, I often find conflict in people's current life or the past life, and understand why it leads to the way they are. So as I say, we human mind cannot make the judgment, but we human mind can try to understand the most we can. What is good out of this? there is something good out of this. Is once you start to understand the true empathy, that is, you able to understand both sides, you able to understand why things come to the way it is, you then have the ability of clear mind. That clear mind will often lead you to seek for the real truth, you know what, without a judgment, and understand what truth really is. So anyway, just a little bit, something been lingering on my mind, and I thought I have some time to share with you all. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, talk to you guys next time. Bye!